Okay, on today's podcast, we're talking to Ace from Nonna's Pizza in Connecticut. This is a great podcast. We talk a lot about what it's like to kind of run a one-man operation. He wants to make all the pizzas there, but he needs help answering phones, marketing on TikTok, how he gets ideas for Instagram and TikTok, and what is good pizza? What is the capital city for pizza? All that on this episode of the How You Slice It podcast with Ace from Nonna's Pizza. All right, welcome back to the podcast. Ace is joining me. Ace, thanks so much for hanging out with me today.
Thank you for having me, Bruce.
I'm excited to talk to you. So tell everybody who's listening, who doesn't know you like I do, where are you from? What do you do?
I am from Connecticut. We have a pizza shop in Southington, Connecticut, and we've been going for about 6 years now. We started in 2019. Our style of pizza is, if I had to say, in between New York and New Haven. If New York and New Haven had a baby, it would have been born and known as pizza.
Where did you learn how to make pizza? All right, you opened during COVID, kind of peaked, took off. That's pretty good. So how's it been going since then?
Very well. Very well. I think that what has helped us after COVID was everyone got to really try us, and it kind of stuck with them. So obviously when everything opened back up, like restaurants and dine in and stuff like that, we lost a little bit of business because people were sick of the takeout stuff.
Right.
But we just gradually stayed at like a certain level where like we finally had it down pat, and Fridays were just consistent and everything just became consistent.
What's been the biggest challenge for you so far?
I'm gonna say employees. Employees
Yeah.
is always a tough one, but thank God that I have a family that helps me. Because bro, without them, I really don't know even know if I'd be open, bro.
Really? Like employees is that hard to find for you?
Oh my God. It's nuts. First off, I base my business from 4 to 9. So that means that I'm only open, and I'm closed Mondays. So I'm only open 29 hours a week. So it's hard to get help for 29 hours a week.
Right.
That's the first thing. A lot of these people that, like chefs and cooks and pizza guys, they want the long hours. And I don't blame them, but I'm not open for that long. That's one issue. The other issue is finding delivery drivers. Like I told you before, we base our business off of delivery and takeout. I have my nieces that help me with the phones. But now that Slice introduced a phone integration, which we'll get into later, has changed a whole lot for us and made life so much easier.
Are you using that?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because when you said you had your nieces answering the phone, I was gonna be like, I wonder if he's trying it out or he's seen the Slice phone.
We actually just tried it last week for the first time.
What'd you think?
It's just like I don't know if it's just me or every other pizza owner that goes through this on a Friday night. Like before Friday night starts, they just envision the madness, the lining of tickets, the phone just nonstop. The printer machine just keeps going off. The tablets are going off, and it's just like almost like a nightmare, but you're living in it. And we had our first Friday night with the phone integration, and it was just like paradise, bro.
Wow. It's not just you, by the way. That's like, I think every pizza shop owner goes through that. I went through that. I remember being like, you go in Friday. I mean, we were open from 11 to 11 on Friday, so we were open there all day. So you get there, I get there at 9 in the morning just to get prepped. You kind of get through that lunch rush. You're like, all right, that part's done. And then from 2 to 4:30, all you can do is just anticipate that second Friday night rush coming in, and you got like the butterflies in your stomach, make sure everybody's. If a
Yep.
person's like 30 seconds late, you're like, oh my god, where is that person? Hopefully they come in tonight, because we're gonna be so screwed if they don't come in tonight. And then they show up,
It's
you're like,
so true.
okay, that's so much better. They're here, and you just go through that whole process.
Yeah, that's so true. Um, but
So yeah,
yeah,
you're not the only one that goes through that. I think we all do.
all right, good. And I don't want to suffer alone. Um, so when the phone integration came in, I was just like, oh man, it's probably one of the best feelings mentally to just not hear the phone ring like two times, or like the other backup line ringing, and you got customers coming in and people just walking. Like I told you, it's a one-way street, so people just walk in, they see your pizza shop, and they're like, oh, can we order a pizza to go? And I'm like, pizza to go? Like, I got 30 tickets waiting, like you're gonna have to wait.
Right.
So it's way less stressful having Slice answer our calls rather than our phone girls, because even my nieces, like they get like overwhelmed. Like it just, it's like a punch in the throat. And then again, mind you, like the mass amount of volume that we do between the hours of 4 to 9, like our customers, they know, okay, you can only get Nona's for 5 hours. So they're all going to order at the same time. And now what happens with the Slice integration, I feel like we've gotten busier, because here's why. I have Verizon as my phone carrier, and I only have two lines.
Okay.
What if five people are calling Nona's at the same time? The first two are going to get through to us, but the three others aren't. With Slice phone integration, there could be 12 callers calling in at the same time, and we're going to get all those orders.
Very true.
And we noticed this on Friday when the tickets were just I mean, like non-stop. The printer machine was like, I thought it was broken because it just continued to print. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, damn, maybe there's something wrong with the printer, and it's like printing copies of the same ticket. It was all different orders, and we were like, what the hell is going on? Like, we've really been missing out on this much. And it was just the best thing that, like, if I had to put it this way, if someone had to ask me, Ace, what's the first thing that I should do after opening up my pizza place, I would tell them to get into contact with Slice.
That's a great. I mean, I did not ask you to talk about that, even though, like, this is Slice's podcast, and I'm hosting the How You Slice It podcast for
No,
Slice. But
listen, I don't care. I'm not getting paid off of that. I'm not. If I was starting over or starting brand new, and someone asked me what's the first thing, I would say 100% contact Slice, and they're going to set you up in a way where you won't feel overwhelmed, because when you're first opening up a pizza place, you're all over the place, bro.
for
You're
real,
like, what's everyone going to think? Is my family and my friends going to come support? Like, there's so much that goes on mentally when you first open up, and no one really prepares you for what's coming. And I feel like now the way that Slice has this POS and family package bundle, I wish I had that when I first joined in 2019. I wish you know what I mean? I just didn't know what I was doing.
I was
But
talking
now,
to. I've talked to Alir in the background. Obviously, Alir's the CEO of Slice, and
mhm.
I said to him, this phone thing, I wish that I had it when I was operating, because when I was operating, it was early, right? Or online ordering was early, and as much as we wanted to push people to online ordering, which is way more prevalent now than it was when I was operating. As much as we wanted to push people to online ordering, you still had people that just wanted to call.
Yes. Yes.
And to relieve, we had, so your example, you had two phone lines. We had 5 phone lines, and we still had that problem where we would lose calls because you said Friday night, the phone just all 5 lines are lit up all the time. So you are going to get a busy signal. It's just a matter of when you get that busy signal, are you going to call back again, or are you just going to call somewhere else?
Yeah. And I'm the type where if the phone doesn't get through the first time. All right, next.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know.
So you know what? Let me ask you this because I'm curious about this. I kind of know how it works, but for people who are listening, we've talked about this a tiny bit on the podcast. But how does it work where they're answering your phones for you? Does it just all go to them, and then if there's overflow, it comes into you, or do you select how many calls you want to go to them?
Great question. So I was very skeptical of this for two reasons. One, Southington is a very tough crowd where I'm at. They're very tough. And I was worried that the calls that were going to get answered, who's going to be talking to my customers?
Right.
Because for 6 years, if my nieces were calling out or they had a volleyball game and they couldn't work, like I'd have to answer calls and make pies. So I built a lot of, relationships with the customers. So when they would call, they'd be like, "Oh, tell Ace I said hello," or along those lines. Or if they had a quick question to ask me, I was like, I'm not ever gonna talk to my customers again. What's gonna happen? And they were like, "I promise you, don't worry. All it takes is like a 30-second, not even, transfer button. The call goes back to the pizza place. So let's say if you're a customer, you're calling Nonna's, I won't get the call. The Slice's phone center will get the call. They'll answer, Nona's Pizza, how can we help you? And you say, "Oh, I'd like to speak to Ace, please." He'll be like, "Sure, 1 second." Just as if my niece would.
Right.
"Sure, 1 second." And then the call will come through over here and I'll pick up, "Nona's Pizza, this is Ace speaking, how can I help you?" And, "Hey, Ace, I'm having a party at the end of the month. Can you help me out? I need 20 pies," or whatever the case may be.
Right.
That's what I was worried about. And it happened like already like 10 times. 10 customers called in. It's like, "Hey, can I speak to Ace? I got a party coming up, and I wonder if he can help out, hooking us up with a few pies and this and that." And so I was like very, very skeptical about that part. The other part was, are they going to be able to know our menu and like upsell if you could, or what certain types of pastas do we have to sell like on our dinners, or how our pizza is made. But with Slice, like before you do the phone integration, there's a whole process to it. There's an hour interview. You're assigned your own phone team, and there's like a group message where you can personally talk to every single one of them and let them know, "Hey guys, you know if anyone asks, our pizza is very thin crust, well done, charred pie. This is our style of pizza." You can explain anything and everything to them,
That's great.
almost as if.
So it's almost like an employee. Like they get to know
Yeah,
your business just like the employees do.
right. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is," the first night that we did it, I was like, "I'm sick to my stomach. The phone hasn't rang yet." Because we're always so used to the phone ringing, and when you don't hear the phone, it's actually a little bit more peaceful.
I bet.
And you just like, you have a pizza printer, you have a kitchen printer, and let those things just buzz off. Zoop, ticket comes out, you hang it up, make the pie, customer comes in, no problem.
So are they answering all your calls now?
Yeah, they're doing all my calls.
That's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
so is your dining room like right? If people do you have seating in your restaurant? I don't know if I forgot if you
Yeah,
said,
I do. I have like 4 booths.
but they can hear the kitchen, right? Like they can hear everything going on if they're sitting there.
Yeah.
Same with us. So our dining room too. We had probably had like 8 booths, and I used to feel bad for people who would eat in there on a Friday night because it was just nonstop ringing. They're like, how do you enjoy a pizza with all of this ringing? I have PTSD from all the phone from the ringing that people had all the time. Like you just hear the phone ring now. I mean, it's been a while since I've heard it, but for the couple years after the pizza shop, like if I heard the phone ring, I would kind of freak out a little bit.
It's so funny, bro. Like, I don't know anywhere else, but in Connecticut is so funny. We have like Grubhub and DoorDash and all that, and they're the worst. Um, but that noise that they make, the ding ding, we have the tablets for it, and we went to a gas station. It was like 11:30. It was one of those gas stations where they make food and you could get like, groceries delivered to you or
Right.
whatever. So I'm sitting there, I'm waiting to pay for my my Gatorade and pack of cigarettes, and all of a sudden I hear the ding ding, and I'm like, no, this noise is following me. It's crazy.
I know exactly how that goes. So that's great. I'm glad that you enjoy the phone. That's good for other people because I'm sure when you introduce something, I mean that's kind of drastic, right? Like having a whole company answer your phone, like that's a huge
Bro,
risk to take.
as much as I will 100% advocate for this, like I don't even want to spread the word around, because what if there's like it's just so like so many people start doing it? Like I don't know if there's gonna be enough employees, bro.
Well, I can vouch for that. So I know how many employees there are behind the scenes, and there's plenty. So they do, yeah, they have a lot of people in that call center, and they're onboarding a ton every day.
Wow.
So that's going to be something that's going to be, listen, however long it is that people still want to call, there'll be people to answer those calls, which is, so I'm in the process of kind of like thinking about opening a pizza shop, which I've put out there a little bit, and I'm definitely using that. I would rather die than answer a phone in my pizza shop. Like there is no kind of stress like the stress of having people on hold, being on a phone with a customer who doesn't know what they want, and then having like five people in front of you waiting to like pick up their pizza, and you're just sweating bullets trying to be nice, but trying to get this person off the phone at the same time.
Yeah. Where do you plan on opening?
TBD.
I gotcha. Could I at
TBD.
least get a region?
I want it to be a surprise.
Huh.
I'll say in the South.
South.
Yeah, I'll say that. That's where I'm not gonna put a location on there, but I'll say it's gonna be in the South.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
but
What
yeah,
what style of pizza were you known for when you had your shop?
so we were like New
Uh-huh.
Yorkish style pizza. I don't want it was not like New York because we're Boston. I was in Boston, so it's not New York style, but it's hand tossed, thin crust. That was our kind of style of pizza that we did. But we were a majority takeout delivery. Like we would have 12 drivers on a Friday night.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, we'd have to have I talked about it on the podcast before. It was this, you would have to have we had a delivery manager, we had a whole delivery team because it was just a huge part of it. It was almost like two businesses in one.
12 is crazy. I thought 6 was crazy. 12 is nuts.
And sometimes it wasn't enough. Sometimes we'd have 12 delivery drivers and 50 deliveries on the screen and be like, oh my God, how these drivers are taking 2, 3, 4 deliveries at a time
Damn.
in our busiest times. But that's, it comes and goes. We were in an area where October was pretty popular, like the fall, and we just got a ton of people in the area. So
Is the pizza place still there right now?
yes,
Do you know how it's doing?
I don't. Well, I think it's doing good. My partner owns it still, and he still operates it, and he's old. He was 10 years older than me, so it was like his retirement thing. I don't think he needed to push it as much as I needed to because I was young and dumb at the time.
Yeah.
But now he just needs to just does it for fun, not necessarily for like to build a big business.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but that's why I want to open one because I want to open one because I talk a lot about it on this podcast, and I'm like, you know what? I want to open a pizzeria that I want to do, right? Like I think opening a pizzeria, sometimes you get these people who have had a pizza shop for a long time and maybe they took over somebody else's spot and it's not exactly what they wanted to do, and you've been open for so long you can't change things because there's been a lot of customers that come in and they expect it a certain way and it's just hard to change things. I want to do what I want to do from the beginning, which it sounds like you did,
That's exactly what I did.
which is great, right? Because then you're happy. You're like, all right, anything that
Yes.
goes wrong, you're like, that's my fault. I did that.
Yes. Yes. A big part of what I wanted to do was not be open for lunch.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask you. Like 4 to 9 is crazy to do 4 to 9. That's, I
Yeah.
mean, crazy from the outsiders, but like as the owner itself, I'm like, that's amazing.
Yes, I get that a lot from owners. They're like, 4 to 9? Do you want to trade restaurants?
Yeah, that's
I'm
like the dream.
no, I don't. Um, I didn't, because like I said, I've worked in so many pizzerias before, and I noticed that the owners are just like burnt out, and it just gets to you, man. It's like you have no family time, and it sucks. So if you could build a restaurant around saving time for your family and making money, why not do that?
Yeah.
You know? And then what also things that I've noticed is like when one person opens up a restaurant and they do really well, 2 years later they're like, "Oh, I'm opening up another location," thinking like we're gonna make double the profit, and then your life just goes to absolute shit. You're burnt out. You're worried about the other spot. Now the spot that was making money is covering your bills at the news. It's just like,
You just named my life. That's exactly what we did.
oh man,
We did exactly that, and it was not. That's like a lot of mistakes that I made along the way, and kind of what I talk about on our podcast is that
yeah,
just learning from mistakes that I made and what I wouldn't do. And again, a lot of people message me and they're like, "Hey, would you do this?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Really? I really want to do this." I'm like, "Listen, I'm not telling you what to do. You asked me. I would not do that."
yeah, yeah. That's I've noticed that that's a lot what happens here in Connecticut too. Um, and then like I said before, I'm very blessed, bro. I have my family, bro. I have my mother and father, but they go in there in the mornings. They prep. My father goes and selects produce every day, fresh. Hand selects what we need for the day because it's right on our way to the pizzeria. And he preps it up for around 2 o'clock. We pop the ovens on. 4 o'clock, I'm ready to go. He's out the door. I close in at the end of the night, and that's it.
That's great. So you make enough money profit wise and gross to pay everybody and be open for 9. That's fucking amazing.
Yes.
I love that. I'm thinking of doing this. I don't know if I'm going to be that drastic. I might try to be open a little bit for lunch, but we'll see how it goes because
Another thing about where I'm at, I'm in Southington, Connecticut. Have you ever been to Southington, Connecticut?
I don't know if I've been like in the city. I might have driven through it, but I don't know if I've ever actually been like hanging out in it.
Yeah, it's actually a town, but it's almost like a city, bro.
Is
It's
it really?
nuts. There's 300 restaurants in Southington, bro.
Whoa.
It's huge, bro.
How far is it from what's the nearest big city? Like Hartford?
Yeah,
How far from Hartford?
15, 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you're right in the suburbs.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of competition for lunch, you mean?
Oh my God. There's probably 30 spots that sell pizza. Um, so many Mexican joints, fast food. It's so much, bro. So much going on. So many delis, so many sit down restaurants. And it's like, why would I want to compete with all of that? And mind you, like, I know they're my competitors and or whatnot, but they serve great food, man. So now I'm going to sit here, try to compete with them, kill their business, all for what? What are you going to make?
Do you think there's business to be had there if you did open?
No.
So you do it for a reason because you don't think that it's going to be enough business to be worth your while to open for lunch.
Right.
Yeah. I can see that. I see that a lot of people try to. There's a balance, right? A lot of business owners already are open for lunch and they spend all of their thought process in marketing budget trying to get lunches busy when there's just no lunch there to be had. And I'm
Correct.
always thinking to myself, why not just like if you're really trying to get what 25, 30 orders a day more, but you're spending all that bandwidth on lunch. Why not just try to put that towards when people are there at night? You could probably do it way easier.
Way easier.
30 orders is 30 orders. If you just need 30 more orders, it doesn't matter when they come in.
Exactly.
So I like your thought process there. That's something to think about for people who are listening to this.
Yes. Also, the marketing, that's like so key for us, man.
Yeah, you do a fun job on Instagram. Is Instagram
Yeah.
your main channel?
TikTok.
Is TikTok your main one?
Yeah, I got like 10.6K followers.
That's awesome. What do you do? You do the similar content as you do on Instagram, or is it different?
Pretty much. But it's on TikTok. It's a lot like there's some that are skits. There's some real ones that where I'm, showing everybody my pie. Um, but it's just and then there's like the whole Albanian community behind us that supports us a lot and excuse me, reposts our videos and a lot. So with that being said, like I'm a really firm believer in the social media marketing, and I don't know why restaurants aren't doing it.
I mean, it's not easy or intuitive for restaurant owners to get on TikTok and be like, all right, I know how to figure this out.
I get it. I get it. Even if you had a TikTok just showing your food, you don't even have to talk.
Yeah.
Show your food, slap a sound on it. It goes viral, bro. It's free.
You're 100% right. There's this gentleman who messages me all the time, every time I post anything about marketing on Instagram, on the stories. And he has a TikTok, and he swears that he gets a vast majority of his business because he posts consistently on TikTok, and he does exactly what you just said. It's just his pizza. It's nothing. You can't find a video of him on his account. It's all just like cutting the pizza. It's kind of similar posts every time too. It's not like he's mixing it up a huge amount, but they get a ton of views, and it's just the consistency over time that helps him.
I love it. There's one of the guys on. You ever heard of this page, Pizza Fart or something like that?
Yes.
I don't know what kind of camera he's using, but I'm like, every time I look at his videos, I'm like, wow. I'm like mesmerized. I'm like, wow. Some of the pizzas are like really cheesy and greasy and whatever. Some are like, wow, like that's great quality right there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I never see his face.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that you don't see it, and it's just, I think
Yeah.
just people, I think they either do two things. They either overthink it too much. Maybe it's a couple things. They either overthink it too much and then they never really get started. They do something, but they don't do it long enough for it to make an impact, and then they give up too quickly. Or they try to be somebody that they're not, and then it just becomes awkward, right? Like if they're not funny or
Yes.
entertaining, they try to be
Yes.
funny when you should just
Yeah.
show your pizza. Um, and it's like it becomes a little cringe.
Yeah. 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 I get that.
But like you said, I think somebody sent me one of your, and it was on Instagram where you were. It was like a day in the life of a pizza shop owner, and it was like you jumping off a building, or like pretending to jump off a building, or like jump in the oven, and it was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. So many people copied that trend after me.
Were you the first one to do that?
I swear to you, I was the first one to do that.
Yeah, I've seen it 100 times now since then.
It's so funny. It's like in every profession now.
Yeah, like real estate agents, lawyers,
bro.
like
Bro, I
everybody's
saw
doing it.
one as a dentist. Like
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yours was so funny though. Somebody sent it to me, and I'm like, that's friggin' hilarious.
So I did that as a pizza owner, right? The original of that video was a Vine. Remember Vine?
Yeah, Twitter, right? Twitter or X now.
Yeah. No. Vine was a
Well, Vine was Vine, and then Twitter, it became part of Twitter,
Yeah,
and then they shut
right.
it down. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look for that guy's name. I don't know. I think his name's Marvin. I'm not sure. But it was it was so funny.
How'd you find it? Do you remember it from Vine?
No, it just popped up on my Instagram and I'm like, oh dude, I should remake this doing it like, as a pizza owner. And it just boomed, bro. It was so funny.
It's my style because I do all kinds of stuff like that. I don't know about being a
Yeah, I
pizza
know.
shop owner.
Dude,
I'm
your
like,
content is hilarious, bro.
so, but I thought that was great. Yeah, and Vine, for anybody who's listening, was like this app that I think it was only 9 seconds, right? You only had 9 seconds to do
Yeah,
a
that
video.
was it.
Yeah, which was great because you didn't have to worry about it being like 30, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You just had 9 seconds. You had to be funny
That's
in 9
it.
seconds.
That's it.
Yeah, but that was
That was-
great. So you do a good job, but you seem comfortable in your own skin when you do things.
Yes, for the most part, I'm like a really easygoing, very, outstanding personality where like, I just like to make people laugh and stuff like that. And So it's not really a big deal for me, but I do get it. Like, sometimes even when I'm trying to make a serious like video, showing our pizzas or whatever, or if there's an event coming up, I'm like, how can I turn this into something funny? But I have to be serious. But yeah, for that part, I do get why people would be like, oh, well, I'm not that kind of guy to hop on camera. But crack out of the shell, man.
Yeah.
Just crack out of the shell and try it.
And even if you don't want to crack out of the shell, you don't have to be funny, right? Like if I do open a
Yeah,
shop, you're never going to see me doing anything funny on my TikTok or Instagram. It's just not my. I'm funny behind the scenes, but I don't want to record that and put it into the internet. I should want to
right.
be. I want to let the product speak for itself. So you don't have to do that because you do a good balance. I'm looking at your Instagram right now, and I always tell people you need a balance. Sometimes they go too much one way or the other, and it's too comedy or too sketchy. Not
Yes.
sketchy in a bad way, but like sketchy, like comedy sketchy. And you can't really see your food at all. And I'm like, what am I going to, that's great. You got my attention, but like, what am I going to order when I call you?
Yeah.
You do a good job of showing sketches or having fun, but also showing what people are going to order and buy from you.
Yeah, I think that's part of the big social media marketing trick is the balance, like you said. Um, because there's actually some pages on Instagram that I see, and it's just like there's a lot of like coffee Instagram social media people, and all they do is just make funny content. And I'm like, okay, it's funny, but like, what are you going to show me your espresso? Are you
Yeah.
going to show me your iced coffee? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I want to, people use that as great. You got my attention with
Yeah,
that. It got in front of my feed. But the next step is to have, even if they don't get views, have stuff on your account where am I going to sit? What am I going to order? What's your best product? Like, what does a pizza look like? Where do
yeah.
I order? Like, even if that doesn't get views, it's good to have on there for reference point for people.
Here's another little trick that I just realized is starting to. It sounds stupid, but it actually goes crazy, and you could gain a lot of business from this. I noticed, like no, I want to say about 2 months ago, we had customers come in. They drove like 45 minutes because they saw a Facebook post. I'm also on Facebook too, where I got involved with some community thing and we donated pizzas and they were like, "Oh, that's so nice," Like it was like four elder couples. They came from Beacon Falls, which is about a 40-minute drive from to our place.
Wow.
When they came in, the simplest thing, like after they ordered, they enjoyed their meal, obviously, and I asked them if they wanted a picture together of them, just
Yeah.
them. It's like, hey, do you guys want a picture together? It's your first time here. Why not create a memory? They lost it. Oh my god, a great idea. Can you actually come in the picture with us? I was like, yeah, why not? Make them feel a little comfortable, make them feel a little like wanted at your place. Don't
Right.
just think of them as, people are giving you money. Brother, come in to eat there, enjoy, have a good time, like make a memory. They're gonna go back home and they're gonna run into their neighbor and be like, I went to Nona's the other day. I had the best time. All because I asked them if they wanted a picture.
Yeah, that's great.
You
You're
know that's
building, yeah, 100%. I agree with that 100%. It's like you want people to leave your business being like, that was so good. They want to go tell people it was so good and they had such a good time. They want to go tell
right.
people about it because that's still the best form of marketing.
Oh, over anything. There's no Facebook ad, there's no Instagram ad, there's no nothing, rather than them coming in there for themselves and going out and telling their neighbor, their cousins, their brothers, their sisters. It's the best. That I 100% agree with.
By the way, on Instagram, your party with Nonna, just because we've been talking about that a lot and I didn't give your URL for Instagram. So go party with Nonna and then also ace_Nonna. But I think that's your personal one, right? Like you do all the
Yep,
pizza
that's my
content on.
personal
Yeah.
one, and then the party with Nona, and then our TikTok is Nona's Pizza.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Nona's Pizza on TikTok. Yeah, I found that one too. We'll link everything up in the show notes. If you're listening to the podcast, or it'll be in the description of Spotify. If you're on YouTube, it'll be in the description of the YouTube video. But yeah, go give you a follow because it's a good account to follow.
awesome.
What's coming up for you? What are you excited about now?
So, 2 weeks ago, I was on vacation when we were supposed to have our initial meeting, and I'm at the airport at JFK, and I hear I hop on Facebook, checking into my gate. I see Portnoy's in Connecticut.
Oh, did he come in?
No, thank God.
Because you weren't there.
Yeah, and I'm at the gate, and I'm like, this has to be my luck. The one time this guy comes close, and he's like 10 minutes away from our pizza place too. He went
Wow.
to this spot Anna's in Prospect, which is literally like 10, 15 minutes away from us. And shout out to Anna's too. They have a great pie, amazing food. Um, when he went there, I was like, oh, he's 100% coming to our spot, and I'm gonna miss this right now. And I'm a huge advocate of me only being the one to make the pizzas there.
Okay.
So like we shut down.
Oh, so you weren't even open when you were on vacation?
No. So I was like, you know what? Like if he comes and you know, whatever, I'm not there, then I'm not there. He could have driven by, I don't know. He could have called in, you know, seen that no one answered the call. But I was so pissed, bro. Like
he
if I
probably did. He
knew,
probably was going to stop in too if you went to a place 10 minutes away from you. I mean, you're
yeah,
pretty well known. If you type in your area, you pop up.
right. So like my thing was, fuck, dude, like if I knew that he was there and I was working, I would have made a post like, "Oh, Portnoy's in, you know, Prospect. He's 10 minutes away." You know, everybody started tagging him to come down, and like maybe it would have happened. Maybe it would have happened, but
He,
maybe not.
but you're pretty close to New York, right? He's based out of New York, isn't he?
Boston,
Okay, yeah. So he,
still not too far.
yeah, not too far. I'm sure he'll be back in that area again. They're always
Yeah.
looking for good spots. Hopefully, maybe we can come in and do a video with you too. You're not too far from me. We should come into the pizza shop and show people the pizza shop.
Oh, bro, I would love that, bro. We would crack some pies together.
That'd be great. Have you checked out our Pizzeria Insider series over on YouTube?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, go over to the Slice app YouTube channel.
Uh huh.
You don't have to do it right now, but like when you get off of this, I'll link it to you. But if anybody's listening to this, go over to YouTube and type in Slice Platform. That's the URL on YouTube. And then we do this Pizzeria Insider series where we go into pizza shops and we kind of just do this, but in the pizza shop. So while we're talking, we can show people the mixer, the oven, how they make the dough, like what kind of layout, because that's what people like to see. This is great for information about marketing, like we talked about. But
Yep.
if you're opening a pizza shop or you're curious about that, I want to see what other people are doing layout wise and like mistakes they made or things they would have done differently, because everybody has that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a great idea. I'd love to check that out.
Yeah.
Even, you know, I could get. I've still learned, bro. Every day I learn. I go to the pizza place. I learn. I'm like, wow, I just did that. You know, or oh damn, you know, I screwed up on that. Like, you know, it just happens, bro. You just roll with the punches when it comes to a pizza place.
That's what makes it fun, right? It needs to be fun, and you need to learn things every day and have something to look forward to. Otherwise, it becomes like Groundhog Day, and you're just showing up at day after day, and before you know it, 4 days goes by, and you're like, how did I get to Thursday? I just woke up and it was
Yeah.
Monday.
So, Bruce, I have some questions for you, bro.
All right, let's go.
You are probably like top 5 pizza influencers, I would say.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Give me your take on New Haven.
Do I like it?
Yes,
I mean, I like all kinds of pizza. I don't think there's a pizza out there that I don't like.
I hate Greek style pizza.
Do you?
I hate Sicilian style.
So here's the thing. There's a place near me. I'm not gonna say the name because me and my wife have a we call it a certain name that sounds like its name, but it's not a nice version of its name. But we do it because we enjoy it, right? And we call it like if you're in the mood for pizza, but not the greatest pizza in the world, but you still kind of like the pizza you grew up with that as a kid that you look back on now and you're like, that was the worst pizza I've ever had in my life. But it just makes you comforted, right?
Yeah.
There's a place like that. It's Greek style pizza. So I like that place. It's not pizza I would eat every day, but I do like that pizza I would eat. I don't think there's any pizza that I'm not a fan of. So I enjoy New Haven style pizza. Like I like it. It's not like the like I think it's hard to do, so I wouldn't know if I would open a New Haven style pizzeria, but I like that style of pizza.
So in the, how old are you, bro?
I'm 45.
45. How long you been making pies for?
I started working at Pizzeria Regina, which is in Boston, when I was like 15 or 16.
So 30 years.
Yeah.
You got 30 years experience. What in your mind thinks that has the, which state you think really has the best pizza? Like,
You got to get me in trouble now.
I,
You're trying to get me. You're trying to get me. You're trying to get me in trouble.
do you think it's a state thing? Do you
No,
think that it's
I
not?
think it was. I think it was a state thing. Maybe 30 years ago, I think certain places had the best pizza. But I have to say, working with Slice the last year, I've had the amazing opportunity to travel all over the country, and I have had some of the best pizza I've ever had, not in the Northeast. So I think the internet, Instagram, YouTube has helped people understand how to make and what really is good pizza. And there may be like a condensed amount of good pizzerias in certain areas, but I do think that there are great pizzas outside of the Northeast. If that's going to be your question, like, is it Connecticut or New York?
Well, you know what it is about the New York thing and the Connecticut thing, and like you get these people like these. I'm not trying to give names because I don't want to do that, but you know, these pizzerias in New York, they'll talk about, oh, I've been in business over 100 years, and if you ask someone what style of pizza do they like, New York thin crust, or do you like a Chicago deep dish, or whatever the case may be, their thing is like Connecticut doesn't have a name for that. Like, you won't go into a spot and be like, oh, they serve Connecticut style pizza here, you know? But that's up and coming.
Yeah. So you think you like a cross between New York and New Haven is kind of like the Connecticut thing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I think New Jersey is just a knockoff of New York.
Yeah. Very
But
similar.
it's crazy, the whole pizza capital thing, and I know Portnoy started that and everyone took that and ran with it.
What did he say it was?
Connecticut.
Okay.
Okay. He said New Haven, Connecticut is the pizza capital of the world, and like we took that and ran with it, and so did the rest of the people and all his fans and all of that.
Well,
And
the
that's
New York has a tremendous amount of pizzerias, right? So they
yeah.
have just sheer volume. They have a lot of great pizza shops, but they have a tremendous amount of really bad ones too.
Oh yeah, and so does Connecticut though.
Yeah, true. True.
So does
I
Connecticut.
can't speak because I live in Boston, so Boston's
Yeah.
not known for pizza, and
Yeah.
we have a lot of pizza shops too, and a lot of really average pizza shops.
So my thing is with New Haven though is like there's no true like original New Haven pizzerias left anymore, bro.
Just the three big ones.
They're not even original.
Well, they franchises now, right? Because Frank Pepe's and Sally's is all. I mean, they have them up here near me now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, first off, Sally's whole corporation sold in 2016.
I want to be honest with you. I did a video on my channel, and I went to the Sally's that's near me. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
No, I'm telling you where they got their name from. The thing is like when I was a kid, so I'm 33 years old. I say maybe 20 years ago, 25 years ago, like, yes, dude, that was an original pie, bro. Like, and you had the old school Italians in there making it from the family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it was so strict on recipe and ingredient, and they couldn't afford to mess up because that's been their motto for the past 50 years or whatever it was, 100 years. Now there's not one true Italian original owner making the pizza, bro.
yeah.
They're gone. And I messaged you this earlier, and I told you this, that Albanians really have taken over the pizza business, bro.
There are a lot.
Huge.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as if like we're better than the Italians or whatever. I don't mean that. Like, first off, we learned everything from the Italians. So kudos to them. They put us on the map. It's just, it's hard to really find, like, you could go to any pizza shop, bro. You're not going to find the original owner there. And the owner is not going to be making the pies.
Right.
That's very hard to find. That's where I want to go. If I go to a pizza shop, I want the owner of the spot making the pie, bro. I don't want the 20-year-old kid that you just hired that, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
is learning how to stretch dough. Like, I feel like those spots have the real pies. And those spots were Sally's, Frank Pepe, Modern. Go into those spots now, any single one of them. There's not one true Italian in there making pies, bro.
So is he saying that the Connecticut's capital is just based off of legacy?
Yes.
Not necessarily what's happening now.
Yes. That's 100%. You just nailed it, bro. You nailed it.
Which I can
And so
see.
now, with that statement, the few restaurants that do have those original Italian pizza makers, like I'll start naming some. I'll start naming some.
Yeah, I would love to check them out.
Luigi's Park Slope in New Haven and
Yep.
New York, I meant
Yep.
to say.
Yep.
Crispy Pizza. You know, Freddie and those guys that
Yep.
always pop up on my Facebook reels.
Yep.
And their kids, bro. I love that. You know what I mean? Like, they brought their kid. Their kids aren't spoiled. Like, their kids are in there making pies, bro. I love that. They're continuing on, you know, and rather than spoiling the kids, going to grab some help and hiring them, they put their own kids in there. I love that, bro.
Yeah.
The kids are going to continue on with that. I think that's what happened with Sally's and Frank Pepe's and whatever, until they got to the point where a lazy kid was just like, I'm not going to work, you know?
Yeah. Or they got so busy. They just got so
That's it.
big and busy and big name that they didn't.
The legacy's over after
yeah.
that.
That's like, you know, are you familiar with Pizzeria Regina?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yep.
Same thing happened. Like when it was around for, it's 100 years old. I think it's 100 years old this year.
Yeah.
But the last 30 years, they just kind of been more transitioning into a corporation versus a family-run business, and it's just it shows.
That
yeah,
sucks.
that's why people always tell me, like when they come to Boston, they say, anytime you ask somebody from Boston where to get pizza, that's not a pizza person. They're just from Boston. They're like Santarpio's or Regina's, and those aren't the best pizza to get when you come to Boston. Those are just, like you said, they're the Sally's and Pepe's, not as good as those places, but the legacy that those places have, but they're just the legacy places in Boston that everybody thinks of.
You nailed it, bro. You nailed it with that.
We need to make a list. Like, we should get a list going. The pizza community of pizza shops that are like the up and coming legacy. Like maybe 30 years from now, they may be the legacy where it's like, they're a corporation now, but right now they're not.
Right. Yeah. That would be epic, dude. That would be epic.
But this was fun. I enjoyed this. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and hanging out with me. We got to make a trip down there because you're not too far from me. It's like 2 hours, I think.
Yeah. Let me know, bro.
We'll do a video.
If you could do it on a Monday, I'll I'm closed on a Monday, but I'll open up the spot for you, bro.
That'd be fun. Show us around,
yeah.
do some pizzas. That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, I'll message you. So if people want to go check you out on Instagram, you are Party with Nonna on Instagram. And what were you on TikTok again?
Nonna's Pizza.
Nonna's Pizza. We'll link all that up in the show notes for this episode. But Ace, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. That was so much fun.
I appreciate you, Bruce.
Don't go anywhere yet.
Everything what you've done. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Thank you.
I really do think what you have definitely changed the game for these pizza owners that are looking for guidance. I feel like your advice, always posting a story. I have my notifications turned on when you post something.
Oh, thank you.
Just because I love your ideas. I die laughing at your memes are hilarious. So it's good to get a little laugh in during the day. But just keep doing what you're doing, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate the kind words too. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. Appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Hit subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment below if this was helpful. If you have suggestions for future episodes, we're always looking for ideas, suggestions, or guests to have on the How You Slice It podcast to help you run or open a better pizza shop. And if you want some help from Slice, like you heard on the phone here, not on the phone here, but on the phone product with Ace, everything that we discussed on this episode will be linked in the description below this video. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.